Hospital porter's pride and dignity stop the New World Order. Welcome to Panmo TV. And welcome to this. It's another reportage of a Bases Project conference. That's right, this is the Bases Christmas Seminars, or whatever Miles has chosen to call it this year. I'm off on my way to Devizes to the Bases Project, and I'm now heading for the railway station. So, as you know, I said before there was a crash UFO here. Seems like it's still here. It's been here for 3 years. They should have shifted it by now. It's not some massive mothership from Iran, as they say. You know, it's not like that. Hello. So I don't donate cash or goods on the street. Alright, see ya. And, of course, there's this weird kind of like maze of corridors and passageways you've got to go through, lined with these metal barriers to get from the railway station area to Botley Road. I don't know how long this is going to be. I don't know how long this is going to be for, but we'll see. We'll do what we can to get past it. It's raining slightly. That way's the station. Footway ahead closed, right? And that's where they have the guard who shoots you if you get it wrong. So where do I go from here? Because you used to be able to go this way, right? You used to be able to go up that way, and now I think you've got to cross over the road. So I'm going to go back. So we'll sort this out, ladies and gents. Hopefully I'll get a shot of the Iranian mothership for a while. What planet is Iran? I don't know, but people are now saying drones come from Iran. Well, there's no planet called Iran as far as I know. It's a country which would be stupid to fly drones over the United States and Britain. So yeah, I shared this meme, quite funny, of this Iranian. It was on the General Ramey's office where Jesse Marcel was showing the pieces of wreckage of the Roswell, the weather balloon, the fake wreckage, which was not the Roswell craft. And here we go. And there's like this Iranian guy holding a drone. It's like a meme that's going around. I shared it yesterday. Okay, we'll go through this way now. So they've switched it over. It was over there, now it's this side. There's this weird structure. I think that's the lifting rig, which they've got to put it on. There's no way you can attach chains to these craft because they come from an alien civilization. So they have like it's rather like the Aztec incident. You know, they had to put a special crane up with a concrete base. The concrete base is still there, by the way. That's very interesting. For you skeptics who say these things don't happen. And now I'm going to walk through to the bus stop. Of course, you've got the S6 bus. You've got to get through this way. You can't get any other way to. In fact, between West Oxford and East Oxford or Central Oxford, there's no other way except to go through here. So anyway, Tutick here, as you can see, is behind all this. So don't expect it to be done anytime soon. There'll have to be lots and lots of union meetings and tea breaks before they get anything done. But there you go. Lots of strikes. But anyway, we go through this dark tunnel here. I'll just try and get a quick shot over the top. There we go. Right, you could see what was going on there and I couldn't, not until I watched this video back. So, anyway, I'll show you a bit more about where I'm going. And this is the event I'm going to go and see, the Bases 2024 Christmas Seminars. Speakers Martin Coble, Teresa Tannehill, Dr. Amir, Sandra DeRoy, John Molson, Thomas Mikey Jensen at bases.tv.org. Very interesting speakers we have. I don't know much about Dr. Amir, but Thomas Mikey Jensen talks about Mars, things going on Mars. John Leonard Wilson, Ace Skywatcher, discovered some strange things up in the sky. Definitely. Martin Colborne talks about the glass ceilings of secret science. Sandra DeRoy, experiencer filmmaker. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this enormously, so I do hope you'll come and join us. I made it all the way through the cordon, all the barriers and the buildings and the UFO crash retrieval, and they've moved it. The S6 doesn't go from there anymore. Oh damn, I should have checked beforehand. I've now got to go to Gloucester Green. They've decided to just move up to Gloucester Green. Oh well, yeah, I just assumed it was going to be S6, and S6 was going to be at this stop until the building was over, but it's not. So I've got to walk all the way back through town, carrying this big bag of books.
Does it go from the railway station?
It might do. I mean, I'll check. Yeah, the S6. It must be trying to take off, head back home, or maybe the other aliens have come and got it. Anyway, I've got to go back now. So I'll try and find the S6 from somewhere else. That's annoying. No, it's kind of my fault. I should have checked. Everything's so up in the air at the moment that they keep moving things all over the place, so it's partly my own fault. Anyway, this is Oxford St Helena, Osney Island. I'd rather show you on a nicer day when I made my first St Helena airport video. But there you go. Congratulations, gentlemen. See you later. Alright guys, well, I'm at Gloucester Green bus and coach station here in Oxford, and well, there's a sign saying that, I guess there's a sign saying the S6 goes from Osney Island. So I thought this is weird. Osney Island, there's a sign saying I've got to go back to Gloucester Green. Gloucester Green say no, it's Osney Island. I went into the office of Oxford Bus Company. I thought they would know. I mean, Oxford Bus Company, the clue's in the name. And he fiddled, oh right, oh it goes from Osney Island, he told me, confirming what was on the sign here at Gloucester Green. And I said, hang on, no, it's there's a sign there saying I've got to go to Gloucester Green. And so as a result, he then ummed and ahed and fiddled on his computer for a bit. Then he said, oh hang on, this service is not OBC, it's actually Stagecoach. So I'm going to go next door and talk to the Oxford Tube people, the people who do the coach to London, because that's Stagecoach, they might know more. So he went out for about 3 minutes, came back and said, no, it's Osney Island. Right. This is one of those fuck it, I'll get the train moments. I'm going to do the first stage of this journey by train. Now, there's 3 reasons for this. The first is, if they don't even know where the fucking bus is going from, and the Oxford Bus Company doesn't know that, and no one seems to know that, and they can't decide where the bus leaves from. I can see myself being shuttled backwards and forwards between these 2 stops all morning if I just take people's advice. That's one reason. The second reason is I've got my rail card with me just in case. It's always worth, one of these things I always pack just in case, certainly when I'm heading in this direction. Anywhere south I can use my rail card, anywhere south of Oxford, so it'll be a cheap fare. Thirdly, I don't know for certain, it's quite likely I'll be going back that way anyway and I'll need to get the train. I'll tell you more about that later, but I'm probably, the conference is just 1 day, but I'm planning a 3-day excursion. So that's 3 reasons for getting the train. So I'll get a return ticket, because I'll probably need it, and I've got my rail card, so it'll be cheap. And I'm not a fan of rail travel, and I mean my experience last weekend kind of reinforced that. But needs must when the devil drives. If I try and find out where to get a bus, I could be here all bloody morning. And I promised to get there by 1:30, because there we go. Because I promised Miles I'd help him rig the venue in Pewsey. So I've got to get to Miles's place, and but he said get there by 1:30. He's not sure when he can get in, but he says get to my place by 1:30. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm heading there now. I just had another thought. Today is Friday the 13th. Yeah. So maybe this is a part of that. Also, there is a Mercury retrograde going on at the moment, and I'm not a big astrology buff, but Mercury retrogrades, they tend to do this sort of thing. I've noticed, simply experience. So I'm now going to head for the railway station, and I hope that the curse of the Friday the 13th and Mercury in retrograde doesn't continue. Well, I'm on time, believe it or not. I only had to wait 7 minutes, and I got this to keep me amused. Everyone's talking about this book, but is it as good as people make out? Well, I've only just started it. It's got a foreword by Jim Semivan, who is of course the son of Jim Holvan. Please yourselves, it's early in the morning. So welcome to Swindon, town of the pigs. That's not being rude, that's just what the name means. Swine Town, get it? You'll be familiar with this if you're a regular viewer. I'm about to get the bus that takes me through south to Avebury, through the Vale of Pewsey to Devizes. It's one of the most loveliest bus rides I've ever been on. I've got secret machines. I did read a little bit of secret machines. So good, so far so good. But it's far too picturesque to read when you're on this bus. So I'll put old Ash and Forbes on the earphones, and I'll just sit back and enjoy the sights. Remember that there? That Godfather thing? I don't have time to do any major graffiti spotting this time. Maybe I'll come back in a couple of months when there's a new generation of folk art and have a look then. But I'll keep an eye out for any on the journey out of the town. So here we are at Avebury. I'll be going back there on Sunday actually.
And then leave the rest there and I'll put it on tomorrow.
The weather's not very good, you can't see much. It's much nicer in the summer. Yeah. But it's still lovely. It's still a lovely bus ride.
Yeah.
Okay, well, welcome to Devizes. Sunny Devizes. This is the home of the Basis Project headquarters. I've now got to head for the Basis Project headquarters right now. I just got off the bus up the famous bottomless duck pond, which actually does have a bottom. And now I'm just going to walk through this rather dim and dismal, drizzly town in the West Country to the home of the Basis Project. Damn! You know what I forgot to pack? Suntan lotion. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here in the Miles mobile, and Miles and I are heading for Pewsey to set everything up. We've been loading up the trailer. Miles has been cursing the gods and goddesses of international travel, Blu-ray remotes, universal axial cables and XLRs, and also traffic. We are stuck in a traffic. Well, we had intermittent traffic jams along the way, and we're running behind because of the rain. But Miles is doing his usual sterling job. And
cardboard boxes don't like rain.
That's true. Right, cardboard boxes and rain do not mix. But I've been doing my best to help him, and whatever way I can. But luckily Matthew Williams has come and give his technical support, because although I can lug boxes and like put Allen keys together and connect stage pieces, I can't do the things that Matthew can with his technical expertise. So we've got his help, haven't we, Miles? So he's turning up later. So
I used to have Claire Hinesley and her boyfriend, but she's done a thing called get a really well-paid job, and so they were able to always handle the rigging and a lot of the cabling.
Oh right. She's now.
But they are gainfully employed and very happily married. I don't know that she's separated from those.
Well, I'm happy for them. I'm happy for them, but you know, we at the top. We're going to muck on, and it's nice to be in this area. I must say it's much nicer in the summer when the weather's pleasant, as you've seen in past videos. But Miles and I think once we get this done, we can calm down a bit and things will be all right. So I'm looking forward to it. This is we're heading for Pewsey. Some of the regular long-term viewers might remember 15 years ago I walked through the middle of the night from Honey Street to Pewsey along the road. Not this one, it was one of the others. It was like late at night, so it wasn't that busy. But, yeah, that was the basis of the barge, Miles, one of the early ones you did.
Yeah, it was a long time ago, 2013, 2014.
Something like that. But it was good fun. We had some laughs in those days. I remember. Okay, guys, got a bit of a jigsaw puzzle to sort out from this thing. Now, if you look at that symbol there, I think we know where that came from, don't we? And how long it's been sitting in a bunker in Berlin. Michael Shrimpton would love that. Anyway, I've got to somehow find a way to get these legs attached to this part of the stage. And there's these other bits when I've done that. So Miles is over there doing his bit. And this is a very rare occasion where you see the basis venue before it's been set up properly, and appreciate the kind of work we go into to produce these things. You see, we put the stage together. It's actually easier than you thought. These guys here are helping out, Miles and everyone else, and this is the rest of the stuff. Put the boxes there. I'll just put them out of the way when in a minute. Yeah, I know, but for now, we're making good progress. Right, it's taking shape. We've only put out 20 seats so far, and I'll be at the back there with my books. Miles reckons that's all we're going to get. He's always a pessimist, though. I reckon we'll get more than that. Loads of people I know are coming. So I think we'll be adding some chairs to this collection pretty soon. Okay, guys. All right, guys, I'm entering 411 Alley. Yes. This is the... I decided to call it 411 Alley after missing 411, you know. Well, I'll give you a bit of recap what's happened. I want to film this in case... this video was ever discovered by people looking for me. I'm only kidding. But after I put the stage together, I was a bit of a spare prick at the wedding, sort of thing. In other words, that was all I could really do. Matthew Williams was there. He had the technical know-how. And so Miles said, I'm going back to Devizes to get some BCL cables. I thought, right, I'll hitch a lift with him. and I'll go back to Devizes, because all I was doing was really sitting around. I was just sitting around, basically, watching the others at work. Great artists, you know, doing their thing, but you know, it gets a bit tedious after a while, because I was just sitting there thinking, well, I can't do anything now. It's just like getting cables out, putting computers in and things like plugging in computers and setting up lights and stuff like that, and there's only a limit to what you can do. So I decided to hitch a lift with Miles back to Devizes, and when I got back to the Bases Project headquarters, Jane was there. Yeah, Jane is now staying with Miles as well. You know Jane Shattuck, and we had a lovely evening. We had drunk some wine. She cooked dinner, and we had some food, and some things like that. And I was trying to text Colin and my friends, because I knew that they texted me and said they were in Devizes. And for some reason, I mean, maybe something to do with the signal, but I couldn't. The text seemed to take ages to arrive, and Colin couldn't call me back and things like that. Anyway, they finally got back to me, and I think they have managed to get back to me. So Jane's going to go to bed soon, and so I'm going to go down 411 Alley to meet up with my friends. No, that's good. So I'll meet up with them in the... Where else? The Weatherspoons. It's got to be the Weatherspoons, isn't it? Yeah, so I'm going to go to the Weatherspoons. This is a lovely... Of course, you know how I feel about Weatherspoons. And I'm looking forward to seeing the Marks there, Jessica, Gemma, Colin, a few other people. You know, this is... I live for this sort of thing. This is what the conferences are really about. The speakers are just an excuse for us to get together, basically. So, you know, I'm going to head that now. Now, it only takes a few... Actually, you know, I'm not that bothered. It's about this journey. It is a bit spooky going down this alley. I mean, you probably can't actually see very much. There's some Christmas lights in those houses over there. But basically, it's all really quiet when you go along here. And so I watched TV with Jane for a bit. I watched she likes this Hotel Portofino thing, which I quite like the look of, but I couldn't really follow it. And going to meet up with my friends. Yes, actually, you know, it takes probably only 5 minutes or so to go through 411 Alley, and it's not really that. You can see it for yourself. I mean, I've shown it you many times before in daylight and night time if you're a regular viewer. But it's the quickest way to get from the area of Devizes where the Bases Project headquarters is to the town centre. If you call it a town centre, Devizes is very small by the standards of Oxford. Devizes is a small place. You can get anywhere within 20 minutes, basically. It's very much smaller than Oxford, but the closest there is to, I suppose, a town centre, which is the Market Square, which is over there somewhere. And we go, as you know, here's the old railway bridge. You've seen this many times. We go over here and we come out by the church, and so I'm going to see them soon. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, up we go up this hill. There used to be a railway that went through here. Apparently, you can't get there now. I could have got the train to Pewsey. This is where the railway used to run years ago. I could have got the train to Pewsey, but Miles said, "Oh, come to my place and I'll sort," you know, because there was a bit of doubt about when he could start doing his rigging, and indeed that actually happened, because what happened was when I got to Miles's place, I didn't explain, he wasn't there, so I've got a key, so I went in. I just lay on the settee and I slept for about 2 hours, and then he turned up and said, "Get in, let's get going now." And that's when he started cursing all the gods and goddesses that I described earlier. and I helped him load the trailer. We took the trailer to Pewsey and we started setting up. So it's down to Matthew Williams and Miles. People who know what they're doing now have to complete this journey towards the conference tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it so much. I'm looking forward to seeing my friends, which I will in a few minutes. Because if we come out of here in the Market Square, once you come out of here, you pretty much almost say it's the Silk Mercer. It's the name of the Weatherspoons pub in Devizes. It's a lovely pub, actually. I really, really like it. And, you know, it's sort of traditional Weatherspoons. We got to meet up. It looks like the town hall is covered in tarpaulins and scaffolding, so there you go. been restored. If you listen to Panama Radio, you know I actually went in there and I did an audio recording from in that famous place. Yeah, so we're nearly there now. I've made it through 411 Alley, and looking forward to seeing my friends. What would you mean, Miles?
I thought he was up in bed because, I'm so tired. I'm so tired.
I wasn't tired.
Sneaking away, cavorting with women.
Well, just
drinking alcohol.
Drinking.
It's a disgrace. Reading your Bible.
Oh, we're reading Bible. We were watching Hotel Portofino. I'm here with Mark.
Hello.
And these guys, you know them all. They're here. Yes. How do you do? How do you do? Jessica's here too. But yeah, it's good. It's good to see you all here. We've got a little bit of issue here. Miles has a mark here, a 3-point mark. This is actually a classic alien abduction scar. So Miles, when did this happen? How did you find out? So
I don't know, but
you first noticed Selena, didn't you?
Yeah, I just noticed that.
Yeah. Well, do you want to? You okay? Selena, you first noticed it, didn't you?
Yes, I just noticed it on his hand. I said to Miles, what is this? It can bounce for a scratch, but then we noticed the 3-point mark on his hand.
That wasn't there this morning or this afternoon.
That must be recent. That's very recent.
But there was an American.
Explain.
Yeah. I mean, because I've been with him. I was with him this afternoon. I left him basically when he dropped me off at the house, and it's got to be. I don't know exactly when this was, but it's very recent. I'm here with Miles Johnston at the Basis Project. Yeah, we're going to make sure that Miles gets home safe because we are having a great conference tomorrow. Are you going to go through 411 Alley, Miles?
No.
All right, fair enough. I don't blame you.
I don't know what this 411 thing is.
You go through. You don't know. You go through to the right side of the church, and there's an alleyway that takes you back to the Basis Project headquarters.
That involves physical activity.
I mean, it involves going through a dark.
It's not the best thing.
You know, it involves going through a dark place where dark forces can grab you and take you away without your consent.
That's where, when they were announced their death sentence here in the Devizes Town Hall, which has got millions and millions of pounds to refurbish itself.
That's right.
While the rest of the time.
That's what the scaffolding is for. So there was there was a hanging place, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was.
Yeah, near the Basis Project headquarters, there was
nowhere near the Basis Project headquarters.
No, a little bit on the way from it now. Yeah,
well, it's a bit like saying if you're going to Edinburgh, you have to travel through Manchester.
Yeah,
that
but
doesn't mean Manchester's got any kind of a connection.
No, of course not. No, but there was a. Well, there was a place where there was a lot of executions that took place in this town 400 or 500 years ago, and that's no doubt attributed to the dark energy of this location. So we should expect that.
There were 3 levels of tunnels underneath this road.
Is that right?
Interconnecting all the houses here.
All right, that's amazing. Well, this is sort of like very dark, isn't it? And I said earlier there was some Tartarian architecture. Look at Miles. Look at those buildings. Look at those windows. Yes, sir. On there, that's Tartarian, mate. That's Tartarian, isn't it? All right. Don't worry. I'll make sure he gets home safe. Well, good morning, everyone. I've been reading this interesting book, An Alien Poked Me, a comedy for coronavirus times by Emma Jane Taylor. Intriguing title. It's about 9:20, so we'll be heading off in a minute. The thing starts at 10. Just waiting for Jane to get ready. I've had some breakfast. Also had a bit of a hair of the dog, a glass of wine. Yeah, I didn't when I managed to get Miles safely home last night. I went to bed and I've got a first or second degree hangover right now. I actually did throw up last night. Thing is, when you're on I didn't think I had the excessive amount, but when you're on a detox, I haven't drunk for about a month, so it went straight to my head, and I can't hold it like I do normally. So, because if you don't drink for a while, you lose that kind of resistance. alcohol, tolerance as it's called. But I slept well when I sort of finished throwing up. But I've just got a hangover. I don't think you ever sleep well when you wake up with a hangover. So I'm trying not to drop off today in the event. I've got my books there. Here I am in the Basis Project headquarters. But yeah, Miles has gone off ahead of us. There'll be people gathering. Probably people will be arriving soon. So just waiting for Jane to get ready. Then we'll go. Looking forward to seeing everyone. Had a great time in the pub last night. As you saw, we were having fun. Seeing all my friends again was wonderful. And it's nice. I'll be seeing them again today. So now Miles, well, he's a bit of a pessimist. Miles. He thinks only 20 people are going to turn up, and I put 20 chairs out, as you saw in the auditorium. But that's just the number of sales that's just the advance sales he got. 20 people bought tickets in advance, including me. That's not the number of people who are going to turn up. More people will turn up. Firstly, maybe a couple of people who bought advance tickets won't show up, but a lot of people will show up on the day. That's very often the way with the Basis Project. So I'm probably going to have to put more chairs out. So that's great. That's good. I want Miles not to lose money over this, because he has done. I mean, it baffles me when you get the Stephen Cambions of this world saying, it's a grift, it's a grift, it's a grift. All right, and then he says, praise the cash, of course. But the point is that even if that wasn't the case, even if he wasn't a galloping hypocrite, it's the amount of money most people, very very few exceptions, make in this field is barely it's barely a subsistence. And so people who think this is some kind of massive scam, money-making scam, really don't know. They don't know anything about it. They don't know what they're talking about, because there were a handful of UFO millionaires, Stephen Greer, a couple of others, but they're literally single figures, the people who were like that. So yeah, I'm now looking forward to a wonderful day's conference. Just a one-day event this year, but I've got something else planned for tomorrow at Avebury, so I'm looking forward to that too. So if you'll accompany me.
Thing that produces life in the lower orders, and then you suddenly find that women want to have babies and they can't, or they give birth to monsters. Oh, yes, so this could be happening to us. They have to bring it to full term in some sort of human being.
I love those hills. Just showing the viewers the hills there. Lovely.
I think it's a bit dreary, actually.
No, I think
I'd like a few more trees about the place. I think it probably has had trees and they've knocked it all down.
Maybe there's a few patches of trees here and there.
It's made loop hip up.
But the view up there is tremendous.
Yes, I suppose.
Resonant, and then at the right moment you would actually add a dissonance, and the dissonance of a dissonant chord would break up would cause the substance to disperse into breakdown, first of all from water. In the case of water, it would go into gas, and then would have been very different. They came a few years too late for Germany. Here was a small single-person Vril craft of 11.5 metres, of which 17 were.
Oh right, so we've had the first speaker. I'll give you a full speaker's review later. But as you can see, more than 20 people are here. I mean, I said to Miles, more people get more people than that, definitely. There's the gentleman himself, Mr. Miles. I wonder what he's up to. I think there. I've got to get a look at his. I've got to get a good look at his jumper later, because he has like a Christmas jumper. I see Colin's got one as well. I'll have a look later. Oh dear. Tony has a brilliant T-shirt here with it.
Oh yeah.
There's the old Barbary Castle crop circle.
1991 was this?
Yeah, and there's some more around the edge of it.
Yeah.
That's still unmatched in quality. There's some really great ones in those days, I thought. But it's still going on. You still have crop circles appearing
Underneath.
He's got a T-shirt underneath. Oh, that's megalithomania, yeah. And there's this little pendant there, which is nice.
Oh yeah, that is
lovely pendant.
Metatron's cube.
Ah, yeah.
So I'm well protected on every
Nice
level.
one, mate. Nice one.
Here.
Oh, nice. That's a wicked jumper he's got. Put your Christmas sweater on. It's got to be done. Oh, Colin's got one as well, look. Let me have a look at Colin's jumper. Colin, what's that jumper you got on? I'll have to look at it later. I can't... Oh, it's a Christmas Yoda.
Baby Yoda, I think.
Oh, look, Christmas Baby Yoda,
baby
nice
Grogu.
one. I'm feeling a bit boring. I've got this blank blue jumper, so I feel a bit out of place. But, yeah. There's Jane and her books are here. I've got a copy of that book. Yeah, wicked. And there's the Raven. Nice. Oh, thanks very much. What's your...
You can see my first slide. It's
we're living in the end times.
looks like a clock, like a doomsday clock or something. I don't know. I just found it on the internet and it looked. Maybe you can have a discount at Sports Direct or something. But the British government is actually trialling a scheme where, for your activity, you will get rewards. The way I read that patent number is World Order 2020, as in New World Order, 060606. Actually coming out of the middle of a sunspot, but when he got back with a friend, it was gone. He immediately set about sketching what he'd seen from memory and preparing a report for the Royal Astronomical Society.
I've just seen Theresa Tannehill do her talk, and what can I say except what they said on Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? Last orders, please. Well, you'll be glad to know the weather has improved. It's actually quite nice now. There's not a cloud in the sky, hardly. Now, I'm going to go and join the others for food. In Pewsey, there's not a lot you can do, because the pub doesn't serve food now, apparently. I don't know what genius decided to do that, but there you go. So we're going to go to the old pie shop, wherever that... I don't know where that is, actually, so... I'm going to wander around here. Mark Pilkington lives here, but I don't know where exactly. But that's why Miles often books him, because he's a local speaker in the very town, actually. So it literally costs nothing to accommodate. But I've noticed he tends not to hang around. He's a very shy bloke, Mark Pilkington. He will... he comes in, does his speech, and he just goes, you know. That's all he does. So I'm now going to head down this way in this lovely little charming Wiltshire town of Pewsey. I'll say more about the Theresa Tannehill later and what she talked about. To be honest, it was not the sort of thing that makes you jump for joy, put it that way. I was waiting for the white pill. She sort of ended with a kind of white pill, but nah, it's not something I'd say it's very, very uplifting. If she goes through, well, she goes through a list of all the bad things that have happened in the world, and of course there was a lot of those. Make no mistake. But well, there's this episode of Star Trek, or it's one of the Star Trek movies. Kirstie Alley is in it. I remember because she's very attractive, and she's been trained. She's been trained as a Starfleet officer, and she's in a simulator, and she has to deal with a no-win situation where she has to die, and that's apparently part of her training. And she asks Kirk what he did. Where is this pie shop place? I don't know. And she asked Kirk, she says, what did you do in the no-win situation? And he says, I hacked the computer. I rigged it, because I don't believe in the no-win situation. And that's me, I don't believe in the no-win situation. Now I've got to find this pie shop, which is somewhere along here. Yeah, it's a good film. Alright, so... And this is the Tales of Spice, this is the curry house, where we actually ate here last year, I remember. Very nice. Well, guys, I'm in the pub here with Mark. You remember Mark from the Contact in the Desert and Stairway to the Stars? Yeah, and we're sitting here having our lunch, and then we're going to go back to the conference very soon. Cheering up a little bit now. We feel a little more after Theresa. We decided we needed some upliftment. So a few of us have got mulled wine. I've just got some cider. Absolutely.
In a corridor, looking. And he said this big reptilian entity thing came round the corner, but saw him. And he got out.
One of the things about remote viewing, they can see you, and they can follow you back.
So it must have been about 10 years ago. I looked him up. I wanted to know what he was doing with himself, and I found a Wikipedia.
Well, that was Duncan over there, as you can see. There's old Duncan, the grid keeper. Very interesting talk. I'll say more later, and I hope he gets to talk to him. He's bought a book anyway. I've managed to sell a book to him. He hasn't got the cash, but he's going to contact me later and do it with PayPal. That was an interesting talk. He did like a dialogue with Miles here. So that was very good. Very interesting stuff, Miles. Thank you. Seem to be getting a lot of dogs in here today. Well, there's two. I've counted 2 dogs so far, including that very, very friendly one, and little Cookie. That's Duncan's dog. Yeah. It's got a nice atmosphere today. I think it's going to go on till the evening, so that'll be cool.
For those of you that don't know who I am, it can take a long time to explain. We take the short version right now. I am the man that created Forbidden Knowledge TV, the streaming platform. New Jersey was the first one to come with a mass report on it, 50 drones in one go. I would like to ask you a question in here, if I can see anything. How many of you in here believe that this are vital for me because I have a friend that used to be a CIA security.
The most important person to thank from you guys is obviously Miles Johnston, who's now been doing this for 30 years. 30 years of the Basis Project. Amazing.
Hey, Miles.
And I know you thank Matthew and all of the team here that have put this together today, but the most important people to thank are you, because without an audience, there's nothing. There's just people running around.
Alright guys, the conference is over, we packed up. I'm here with Matthew, who you know. Hello. He's been in this video a couple of times. We're heading back to Devizes with everything. Miles is, well, he's in the Miles mobile with the trailer and with all this, but we're taking some of the stuff as well, so Miles doesn't have to make a separate journey, which is good. Alright, Matthew and I have just been to the Basis Project headquarters and we just put everything away. We're now going to head out to the Wetherspoons to meet the others for a celebratory post-conference drink. No, I think we've earned that, haven't we, Matthew? I've earned this. We did a good job, didn't we? Miles is happy now. It's all done. Mission accomplished. He'll come and join us probably soon, but he's, you know, well, he's just in the house at the moment in the Basis Project headquarters. Well, so she needs to learn to see through feminism. Anyway, this is Miles. Mission accomplished, I'd say, wouldn't you?
Mission accomplished. We've just got a massive edit to do, which will take weeks. In the meantime, I'm flaunting one of my ridiculous T-shirts, which is highly sexist to a unisex alien race.
Totally topless, but who cares? Top secret. Roswell,
although with those eyelashes, you know, who knows?
She can abduct me and probe me anytime, mate, I'll tell you. Anyway, it's just to say thank you very much.
Well, we're
it's been really good.
Now and we're going to cause trouble.
You had a good time? You enjoyed it?
Well, a few people didn't turn up. Yeah. I'm very disappointed that Sandra DeRoy didn't turn up because she had so many insults for the likes of you that it just made the whole thing barely worthwhile.
Oh, that's a shame. But mind you, there was a couple of no-shows, but we filled in, didn't we? We filled in. We watched that little video, but
we weren't going to have anything past 6 o'clock anyway, but that was the only time Kerry was going to do it. So anyway.
Well, I'm sure I join all my viewers in saying a big thank you for what you did. So I've really had a good time. Thank you very much. Guys, we're in the curry house now having a meal, and Tony there suggested I record it, so it's very nice. We've been here before, it's very nice. Okay guys, I'm back at the Basis Project headquarters. We have an extra guest staying tonight, a friend of Jane's called Emma, and me being the chivalrous gentleman I am, I've given up the spare room for her, so I'm now on the good old Basis settee. But I slept very well there yesterday evening, so there shouldn't be a problem this time. So what a day. Anyway, night. Well, welcome to the Basis headquarters. It is now Sunday morning. I was going to go up to New Society for breakfast, but I'm still full from last night's curry, so I probably won't. Also, I've got a big meal coming up later on today, so I want to leave room for that. But I just had a strange night. I was I slept okay, but I woke up for a couple of hours in the middle of the night. Luckily, I had enough time to make up that shortfall because I had a very long period to sleep in. Strange dreams. Also, I heard a couple of weird noises. Just a series of like banging noises or things moving around in the sort of kitchen area near the front. I didn't go and investigate, but it happened twice. They were sort of like. First time there was like 2 loud banging noises, as if there was someone there moving things around. Second time there was just one noise, and it just went quiet. So a bit of a mystery there. Don't know what that is, but just thought I'd mention it. It's not. I suppose if I'd been a proper investigator, I'd have gone and checked and everything like that. But I didn't. I just wanted to sleep. I'm going to have to get the bus to Avebury. It's always a bit awkward though, because the online timetable is always wrong for the 49 service, so I don't know when that bus is going. What makes it more complicated is it appears that Devizes, according to Miles, has stated many times, it's one of his favourite anecdotes, is that Devizes seems to have its own equivalent of Sweeney Todd, Turkish style. Yeah, there's a demon barber somewhere in here, and they found a load of bodies in the basement or something like that, I don't know. But apparently there was a big fire, which has shut down half the town for the last month. It's that bad. So the buses have now been rerouted. The main bus stop in the square is out of use. So I might just go to the duck pond, the bottomless duck pond, and get presumably there's a stop with the bus going the other way. We'll find out. Okay, let's go through the speakers from yesterday's conference. It's just a one-day conference. There were only 4 speakers in the end. The others didn't turn up. Kerry Cassidy didn't do her call-in from California. This Cambridge person didn't turn up either. Sandra DeRoy wasn't there. Martin Colburn, now I missed half his speech because we unfortunately came in late. He did a talk called The Glass Ceiling of Forbidden Science, which is one of my favourite subjects, and he talked about Tesla. And a lot of this stuff I'm already familiar with, Tesla, the fact that John Trump, the uncle of Donald Trump, was the guy who basically handled the secret files when they classified Tesla stuff in 1943. And John Keeley, pioneer of free energy research, and in fact it was KeelyNet, the free energy inventors website used to be called KeelyNet. It's gone now, unfortunately, but it's very, very good. What's not known is Keeley discovered some effects, some electromagnetic interference effect that remind me very much of John Hutchison. He had a technology he called the disintegrator, which seems to have a similar effect. It seems to do similar things to what John Hutchison's rays did, the interference patterns on the rays. If you ever read Dr. Judy Wood's Where Did the Towers Go, or study Andrew Johnson's work. There was he showed some diagrams. He talked about Wilhelm Reich and orgone energy, and apparently Wilhelm Reich believed in reincarnation, which was interesting, and that orgone is basically similar to Kundalini, which has been known about for thousands of years in India. Curlian photography as well. It seems that the etheric body of living things. You may be familiar with Curlian photography, about how it's a particular kind of photography where they actually take a picture, which includes if you get a leaf and cut it in half, you get an outline of the entire leaf in electromagnetic form. It could explain things like, it's known as phantom limb syndrome. So if someone cuts off your leg or something, see, if you lose a leg, you can sometimes feel it. It even itches sometimes. You can't scratch it. It's very annoying. And now doctors put that down to residual effects of the nervous system. Just remembering what it used to have, which is gone. But it could be that it's that the etheric leg is still there. And this has been used. There's a guy called Dr. Robert O. Becker, who actually believes we could use this to regenerate limbs, because some animals, like amphibians, can regenerate parts of their body when their bodies are cut off, and we could do the same. We get stem cells to de-differentiate and then regrow damaged, lost limbs. It'd be great, though. I did learn a few new things. He talked about a certain disease beginning with C, not the infectious one, and the cure that goes with it. You can't say the two things in the same sentence anymore without getting a video banned. But basically, it is a forbidden science to say you can cure this disease. You have to use the word remission. Schauberger, the Austrian forester who discovered energy in water, and how egg-shaped stones in water actually can generate this energy. Surprisingly simple mechanisms, actually, to actually access this free energy effect. He talked about, of course, the Foo Fighters in World War II. Nazi flying saucers, Hitler in Antarctica, and I met a guy who claimed to have been there. And of course Roswell and Kenneth Arnold and George Adamski. And did Adamski see the Haunaboos? Because with Project Paperclip, it's likely that the victorious Allies got this technology. This of course influenced movies and comics from as long ago as the 1940s. And there's the ONL group. I'd not heard of this. The ONL group is a British organisation developing this stuff, and John Searle got investigated in, the flying saucer inventor. What's this? And there was actually a discovery of a factory. They were actually going to produce these things commercially. Now, John Searle ended up in jail eventually. I suppose most of them just get killed, but they actually jailed this guy. Now, what's interesting is there's a guy called Freddie Laker who ran an Airways, which collapsed amidst a lot of publicity in the early 80s. I remember it when I was a kid. And it turns out that Laker had a deal with John Searle to produce commercial flying saucers for transport. He was going to start the first flying saucer airline, because Searle invented his own kind of airline. It was a bit of a joke. He basically just designed a uniform and gave it a name and logo and thing, but he never actually developed any aircraft. But he apparently had a deal to develop an aircraft with Freddie Laker. Now, this is reminiscent of the relationship between Henry Ford and Nikola Tesla, because you may be familiar when mass-produced cars began at the beginning of the 20th century. Ford was producing both petrol and electric cars, and Tesla had a deal to put in the generators for the electric vehicles and stop the petrol line. But then Westinghouse and JP Morgan got involved, and that really scuppered the whole thing. Yeah. There's someone called Remy Cornwall I'd never heard of. And he invented a water heat exchanger device, which is actually over unity. This is all heretical because it breaks the second law of thermodynamics. And there's other things that are suppressed as well, you know, the paranormal, etc. I mean, we're all familiar with that, the suppressed science, the glass ceiling of forbidden science. Very interesting speaker indeed. Teresa Tannehill. I've got a new nickname for her, a bag of Maltesers. You know why? Because she's full of black pills. Yeah, I mean, you see, I've done my Apocalypse Soon talk, which is similar about the end of things. But mine's quite cheerful, whereas Teresa Tannehill, elite bunkers, a hollow mountain where Jeff Bezos is planning to hide out for the apocalypse. I mean, I've done an entire video about elite bunkers. The symbolism of the red heifer in Israel, which actually happened just before October the 7th, the return of the Moshiach, the Messiah, the real Messiah, not a naughty boy, vaccine passports, skin patch microchips, the 666 number of the beast on various various barcodes and chips. She says she's not religious, but she does take this sort of thing seriously. Schrodinger's cataclysm, she calls it, because you don't know what it is until you look at it and you see it. Like, it could be a Carrington event, the collapse of the Beaufort Gyre, which would remove the Gulf Stream, which means that Northern Europe would become like southern Canada, basically, in terms of climate. Very cold indeed. AMOC, A-M-O-C, she says that's based on the film The Day After Tomorrow, which is by Roland Emmerich, who I'm not a fan of, as you know. The Grand Solar Minimum, Valentina Zharakova. Now, she spoke at the bases, and about the idea of a coming ice age. Crustal displacement, micronova, that's a gigantic solar flare. Pole shift, the 2012 movie, of course, was all about the pole shift. That's something I noticed. The Zhebenkov core mantle decoupling. Now, this is somebody. He was an astronaut, actually. He was up on the Mir space station, and he worked out how the poles could flip through watching a spinning nut in zero gravity. And he talks about decoupling pole shift. Ran Flemath has written about that. And he talks about how it's possible the Great Pyramid was actually originally, there was a flood which covered the Great Pyramid almost to the top, where the cladding is off on the Kefren Pyramid. Erosion of the, solar radiation management, that is chemtrails. These are man-made problems. and how people are becoming magnetic. You know, so there's people who can stick spoons to themselves. Teresa says she can stick a spoon to her own breastbone, her sternum. And of course problems such as zero carbon neutral and authoritarianism. There's climate change on other planets right now. Jupiter's getting a new red spot. Lots of things about Uranus. Lots of unoriginal jokes there, I know. Aurora on Neptune. Pluto's lost part of its atmosphere. This is a sign that something major is happening with the Sun. Magnetic pole shift, core rotation, altering Earth's spin speed. The government taking advantage of this. See, they may take advantage of this to bring in a new world order. So there's and you can see them attacking the farmers, as you know, and farmers have become some of the most hated and harassed people by the state in the world, and many countries. Oddly enough, these are happening in different countries that are supposedly sovereign states, as if they're obeying a higher authority. Wind and solar power, economic collapse, the end of food supplies, the rise of autism, COVID vaccine side effects, shall we say, you name it, it's there. As they say on Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, last orders please. I've done that joke already. Yeah, but so in the end she says we've got to fight back against this. Oh, duh, that's kind of a no-brainer. But nah, she didn't have anything cheerful to say, unfortunately. Duncan the Grid Keeper and Miles did a kind of interview. I think this was improvised when one of the speakers didn't turn up. And he bought a book. He bought a copy of Roswell Revealed. Hope you enjoy it, Duncan. He said he's been working with John Leonard Wolfson to take photographs of these things in space, and he talked about James Casbolt, who I can't really say too much about him for legal reasons because he's out on probation, but he's had black helicopters following around. He's got a farm. His family have been looking after the stone circles for over 2,000 years. This ended with the Norman conquest in 1066. And he mentioned something I also did, that John Leonard Wolfson, if you look at a photograph of him, he looks like Lou Elizondo, and I kind of joked with him, are you guys twins? Are you related? He also mentions the flying craft photos in space. These are they take photographs of what appear to be stars or satellites, and they turn out to be these very strange, very large craft that look like secret space program, either that or aliens. And these have then disappeared. Now, Beatrice Villarroel, the astronomer, she did an interview with Ross Coulthart and several other people where she says she's a Swedish astronomer, that they are actually people are coming in and they're deleting the photos from astronomy. So from telescopes. So I was the one who said that wasn't possible, but maybe it is. Apparently, these are some of them are the remains of the old Star Wars platforms from the 80s, the Reagan and the Star Wars and weapons in space. There's these things called Fireflies, which are small TR-3Bs, just a couple of metres across, and they fly over Oxford when they come out of the Peasmore base. I haven't seen them. Duncan unfortunately had to go, so I didn't get the chance to ask him. But I live in Oxford, of course, and I'd be interested to see them. And some of these craft apparently are invisible and to the naked eye, and you need something to see them. Now, when I say naked eye, they're visible in infrared and ultraviolet, so you can see them in wavelengths of radiation outside visible light, which is very interesting because that's what Nick Hayes does. And it just reminded me a little bit of my little adventure to Chester with its aborted train journey on the way back. Those were visible to the naked eye. Right, Thomas Mikey Jensen. Now he talked about drones. Now he knows a lot about this because he's in the Danish Coast Guard, and he talked about how there's lots of ships carrying drones coming in and out of the area. I don't think he believes that they're extraterrestrial. I got reason for thinking that's not the case, and I had a lot of discussion with him. We were busy setting up, so we didn't have time to have a proper discussion. But it's things like the fact that there's the legal implications of flying them over a foreign country. There's the fact they're brightly lit, a lot of them, and some of the images don't you obey with some of the observables. The fact that none have been captured, the anti-drone weapons don't work on them, there's been no arrests of any operators in the local area, things like that. But he believes that these are basically Iranians. The Iranian mothership is actually really Iranian. I thought the Iranian mothership has become a bit of a joke. Apparently, this is going to be, some of them have the US Air Force logo on, so he believes this could be like to trigger some kind of pretext for war. So that these are not really Iranian, they're actually American or British, and we're going to be told they're Iranians, say, look what the nasty Iranians are doing, especially if one crashes or it fires a weapon or something. We can say, oh, look, these horrible Iranians, look what they're doing. It's a bit like the Skripal poisoning, just like a false flag pretext for war. Andrew Basiago, you may have heard of him. He did some interviews with a guy called William Whitecrow about, apparently President Obama went to Mars, there's secret Mars bases, and all kinds of things like that. William Whitecrow was killed, apparently suicide, but it's unlikely, literally just before he was going to do an interview with Thomas. And he just bought a brand new computer. He was acting normally, but then he apparently just shot himself, which is rubbish. Clearly he was a fake suicide. Thomas works a lot in the media. He founded Billy Carson's Beyond Knowledge TV, and he runs the astroarchaeology website, and he's discovered things on Mars like Richard Hoagland did. All very interesting stuff, you know, weird things that shouldn't be there. Artificial objects from NASA probes and things like that. Yeah, oh, very, very interesting speaker. Nice guy too. I got to talk to him a lot. Nice chap. And so yeah, good set of speakers. Not only 4, but bloody hell, they were good in quality. Well, all right, guys, I'm now heading into the market area of Devizes, and I'm going down 411 Alley, which actually in daylight hours is actually quite pleasant. There's no way I was talking to one of the others where I walked down 411 Alley to get back home, back to the Bases Project headquarters last night. I said no, I wouldn't. I'd go round. I'd take the longer route round, because I mean, it's, you know, bad enough in the winter and like early evening it's dark here, but I don't think I would go down 411 Alley. Sort of, if you're talking at 11 at night, no, definitely not. But in daylight hours it's actually fairly pleasant. Morning. Morning. It's actually a fairly pleasant walk. Now, I didn't charge my camera last night, which is a bit stupid of me. Now, there's still probably quite a lot of power in it, because the battery is quite a new battery. But, you know, I didn't have any long shots to do. I didn't do any interviews, unfortunately, yesterday, which was a bit of an oversight on my part. I normally get a Vox Pop or something, but I didn't this time. But I charged it. I didn't charge it last night. I forgot to plug it into charge. Silly me. Well, I was a bit tired. But I gave it a little mini charge while I was having breakfast. But it's still on 3 bars. So I'm going to see if I can charge it in the Wetherspoons. If I go there, I don't, because I'm supposed to meet the others in New Society. But I might go to the Spoons instead. And then I've got to get to Avebury. Now when I get there I'm going to probably need to do depending on what happens, I might need to do some filming, so I'm going to try and get it charged in on the Spoons. I'm not going to have breakfast. I'm still, believe it or not, I'm full up. Doesn't often happen in my detox holiday, but I am full up from last night's curry still, so I'm not going to have breakfast, especially since I'm planning to have a nice meal later on. So no full English breakfast today probably. I probably don't have time now actually. I still don't know exactly when the bus is going to go, but I've decided to catch it from the bottomless duck pond, which is it's one sure way. All the buses in and out of town to the east go that way. They're coming from Swindon or to Swindon. So I think if I go to the bottomless duck pond, I'll be pretty sure that stop's open. In fact, I got off there on the other side, so I assume that it's running on the other side, going towards Swindon, and that's the bus I have to get, the 49. But at what time? Again, it says 11:25 on the online timetable, but they're always wrong. The only accurate timetable is the good old-fashioned paper one, stuck to the bus stop. So it seems there were as much Luddites as Tony. There you go. Anyway, here we go over the railway bridge, and then I'll be in the town centre. Oh. The bells. Sound of bells, church bells. They started up just as I was walking past them. Very problematic. Yeah, that's what I like about these little places in the country. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to pass the Southgate Inn, which is the spiritual home of Miles Johnston. You can go up in there, serve good foods and drinks and bar snacks and things like that. Sometimes in the summer they have a barbecue. It's very nice. Alright, here we are. Bus 49, Avebury to Avebury and Swindon. Sundays and bank holidays. I don't know why people scratch these things. 11:24, basically it's hourly. That's the one I need to get, which means it's about 3/4 of an hour's wait, which is an annoying time lag. It's an annoying time because it's a very long time to stand here and wait for a bus. But at the same time, if I go up to the Spoons, by the time I've got there, ordered a coffee, put my phone on charge, it'll be time to come back again. So the best thing I do is go and take a look at the bottomless duck pond. Show you that. Ah, lovely. Now, Devizes is one of these places where they still have a duck pond in the middle of a village, and this bench here is probably a century or more old, and they still play cricket on the village green behind me. These are the places the government is desperate to stamp out because these are horrible bastions of whiteness and the patriarchy and oppression and all that kind of bollocks. And there's these stones here which are probably from the Andromeda Galaxy. Just kidding. But this pond here is supposedly bottomless. That's why it got its name. At least that's the name the bassist posse give it. Now, it's not literally bottomless, but what it means is that there's a portal at the bottom of here leading to another dimension. If you were to dive down, you would enter the portal and possibly get into that other dimension. And this water coming up into the pond is actually H3O. It's actually the magic water that Maria Wheatley talks about, and the same thing that's at Merlin's Mound, and also at the at that distillery. You know, what's that whiskey called? I forgot the name of the whiskey now, but it's in Northern Ireland. There's a distillery near the Giant's Causeway of this Bushmills whiskey. It's made from H3O, which comes from deep underground, possibly from another dimension, like Mangier Samantha Lawton talks about as well. You know, Dr. Mangier from The People's Voice. And this apparently is it. This is H3O, which is why these birds are all looking so healthy, apparently. Now, I don't know if that's true. It's just what was it Miles or someone else told me this? I can't remember. But anyway, I'm going to wait here until the bus arrives. Luckily, I've got Ashton on the earphones and I've got my book to read. And it's not raining, so I can't really complain. That's nice. I might even pop into the church. It might be nice to pop in and see what that's like. Objects here have clearly been set for a reason. I was kind of joking about them being Andromedan, but it says here the history of the Devizes twinning of Mayan and Weiblichen Guten Himmel. Yes. Seit unser Fortune Sachen orders which must be obeyed at all times. Yeah, so anyway, Michael Shrimpton, you can pause and read that. Michael Shrimpton will have a lot to say about it. Now here we go, it's in 3 languages here. And this here, there's a little notice on here which says where this thing comes from. Excuse me, Mr. Pigeon. The St. James's, sorry, the crammer and its legend. The origin of the crammer is not known, and neither is probably where do I to the. You can pause and read to save battle, save battery power. These benches aren't quite as old as they look because they're put there to celebrate 50 years of the twinning, so they're not that old. But I'll look up exactly how old in a minute. But on the subject of that stone there, it's basically it comes from the legend of the Moonraker. This is a Moonraker to this day is a nickname for a Wiltshire person, and it's a very good James Bond movie as well. And they basically smugglers were basically bootlegging various substances, liquors, and they hid the kegs of the liquors in this pond. I presume they hid it in one of the places where the portal wasn't, because the portal doesn't cover probably the entire bottom of the pond. And then they used a rake to try and pull them out from underwater. And when these excisemen, presumably tax enforcers, came past, they said, "Oh, we was in the dialect of the time. we were raking the moon and things like that. So that's where it all comes from. It's owned by the council, this pond. So they're the people to ask about the portal, I suppose. A word about the church. I only stayed in there a few minutes. Like many churches, it's changed a lot. Like half of it has been converted into like a community centre and cafe, because that's the only way they can keep their doors open. Because otherwise, like even the one on the Isle of Man, if you remember, it's all half souvenir shop, etc. I didn't film in there. It didn't seem really right to film. There were some people performing hymns in with a sort of happy clappy kind of way. Guitars. There's a guitar and organ, things like that. Like a Hammond organ, not a big church organ. And there were some people like singing along, and I sung along for a while. And then there was loads of people there looking very happy and friendly. And then they said hello to me, and then I just walked out. And as I said, it doesn't seem right to film in there. But it's actually St James's Church here in Devizes. Right, here they go. It's very Alfred Hitchcock, that. You know, I haven't put Ashton on at all. I'm just sitting here. I mean, I'm going to go in about 10 minutes over to the bus stop, but it's strange, you know. I don't feel the urge to put something on, put Ashton or anything else and play it in my earphones. Sometimes it's nice just to sit and meditate and contemplate, and maybe some of that otherworldly energy is coming through the portal at the bottom of the pond. I'm actually a very lucky person because, well, for many reasons, but one of them is that I can daydream. I can keep myself entertained with my own thoughts, and it's surprising how few people actually can do that. You know, maybe that's the difference between the NPCs and not, but I could just sit here and like think about things, and that just passes the time. Yeah, I don't need some external mental stimulus to sort of inspire me and keep myself going. Yeah. Lovely spot this, absolutely lovely. In the summer it's delightful, it really is. This is Bishop Canning. Look at the thatched house there. Crown Inn, church. Another thatched building. This is just like a perfect little village, isn't it? A real ye oldie village. Right guys, here I am at Avebury. It's the red line where I'm going to go later. Just waiting for my friends to turn up, really. Just crossing this rather treacherous road, which is a bit slightly quieter in daytime. I still haven't put a crossing in. And I'm just going to have a look round. I mean, I've got this big bag to carry with me, which is only which is only one book lighter from when I arrived. At least I sold one. And I'm just going to have a wander around for a bit, but you know, I won't show too much. I'll save the battery. And also, you've seen this before when I visited the Maria Wheatley tour. Do you remember that? When we came up here with Maria and did like a wander around and a look at this place. Yeah, and the weather's actually quite similar. It's not quite as windy, luckily, but it's quite grey. Not rained yet, but it's still quite grey and it's quite chilly. So I'm just going to have a look at these ancient stones until my friends turn up. That's the famous copse of trees where readers of Supernatural by Graham Hancock will know that's where it ends on a cliffhanger with Graham taking like Ibogaine or something under that tree.
Squeeze your balls, babe!
Ow! 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 Ow!
Poetry in motion.
It's good. This is Liz's hat. It was Caleb's last year, and now we've got it now for our Christmas special.
And now it's ours.
Yeah,
it's all ours.
It'll help with the waggly ears. I'm sitting here. I won't actually show. Not everyone might want to appear on camera, but I'm sitting at the Red Lion, the famous pub in Avebury, and we're going to have Christmas dinner in a minute which is really, really cool. So I'm now just getting ready. There's our menu, and we're all we're all having fun now. Well, dinner is over. I'm just having a drink here, and I'm reading Secret Machines. Everyone else has gone outside. They've gone out to do what they call an activation of the moon. Now, this is what Maria Wheatley was here for, and apparently it is a ritual you perform once every 18 years. To do with the rising of the moon at a certain time. I don't know what it all is about, but I could have gone with them, but I was finishing off a drink at the time, so I decided to stay here, and they're going to come back and get me, so let's go wait for them to return. So yeah, so apparently the moon rises at a certain point, at a certain time, a certain phase, and that's significant. Maria knows all about it, and I'm not familiar with it myself, but I've got this book to read, so I should be alright. Right, I'm at the Crafty Nihilists headquarters, and the noise you can hear behind me, I'm pleased to say, is that Connor making some coffee. Oh, you want to be in it? Hey, Connor. That's Connor. That's Liz Crafty Nihilists' son, and he's making us coffee. Very nice of him. Yeah, I think the moon thing. I mean, well, what's happening is we're actually going to do a live stream. All right, I'll put a link in the description box. Because I'll do a Panama voice notice for this, but we're actually going to do a live stream on the Crafty Nihilist channel, so I'll be describing it in detail there, but I'll talk to you guys about it more later. But there was like a moon thing. They went out and activated the moon, like I said earlier, and well, they can tell the story themselves, and maybe I'll tell you in more detail later, but right now just going to get ourselves some coffee. You might recognise this, ladies and gentlemen. This is, if you watch the Crafty Nihilist channel, this is their famous blue microphone. I'm here with Mark. And
not so big Mark.
Liz there. Yeah, Liz is here. And believe it or not, I'm about to do a live stream with the Crafty Nihilists, and you'll be watching it on their channel, so it'll still be there. You can watch the recording, so do go there, and also put a link on Panama Voice to this, and I'll put a link in the description box. So by the time you watch this, it'll be over, but the live stream will be over, but the recording will be on the channel as always. So I'm looking forward to this. It'll be fun. Sally's going to join us. I'm not going to put her in frame, but Sally's going to be joining us on the show as well. So yeah, this is fun.
Secret Sally.
It's Secret Sally. Secret Sally. That's her name. Secret Sally.
Secret Sally.
Where's my secret?
Gentlemen, good morning. I'm here in the Crafty Nihilist studio. I hope you enjoyed the live stream last night. As I said, there'll be a link in the show notes, sorry, in the description box, to the Crafty Nihilist live stream, which I was on. We did 2 hours, didn't we, guys?
Yeah, it was brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
We did 2 hours, and I'm sitting here enjoying a very large and delicious cup of coffee made by Mark. And Mark has recommended these two films, Rise of the Planet of the Apes and Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and he knows I'm not a fan of the Planet of the Apes franchise, unusually, because most people are. But he says, no, these are different, you'll like them, so, well, I'm going to give them a go. Because you're all right. And anyway, it's a lovely. There's no rush today. As long as I'm on the train before the rush hour, that's absolutely fine. You know, I don't have to get anywhere quickly. I don't have to work till tomorrow morning, so I can take my time getting home today. And so we'll have a leisurely breakfast, and also we're going to go to Bath, and maybe we'll check out Roodlo Manor, see what's happening there.
Oh,
you know?
Oh yeah.
Because we went there exactly. We went there about a year and a half ago, and they were renovating the place. So we're curious to see who's moved in.
And we went in, and then you got told off, didn't you?
Well, this is what's weird, because like if you watch Ben Goes on Tour, TOR, 2023, or 2023, you'll find that I had to fight a privacy violation complaint from somebody over that scene, and it's really weird because I don't get it. I mean, there was nothing to see in there. I mean, there was just some builders. Very, very odd. Anyway, they did uphold my complaint, but I just thought that was very, very weird.
They did uphold.
So no, they did overrule the complaint, but I just thought it was very odd. Anyway, that's what we're going to try next. So yeah, and then I've got to get home and edit this video, but that's no rush for that. Oh, so well, thanks very much, guys. I slept very well last night. You guys have been great hosts, and I slept really well last night.
We watched the skull experiments last night.
Yes, we didn't. We went about midnight after we watched the Afterlife Experiment, which is like a film by UFO TV from the late '90s about the skull experiment. and it had a very, very it's really interesting. It's nostalgic. You see a really young Rupert Sheldrake. He's about 50 in that, and there's Chris French as well, a skeptic. He's really young, and he realises this is really an old film. But it's the book is great, and the film, the fascinating documentary and book about the skull experiment. Yeah, about it's basically psychical research. So we're going to finish this coffee, and we're going to get going. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've just left the headquarters of the Crafty Nihilist. We're now heading to see if we can find anything new about Roodlo Manor. Do you remember my video, Ben Goes on Tour, spelled T-O-R? We went to visit this place and I got a privacy violation complaint.
Have a look at the nice
from
scenery
nowhere. Oh, isn't it lovely over there? Look at that beautiful scenery. That's typical West Country. It's lovely. And we're going to now go to Roodlo Manor. And so, if you haven't seen Ben Goes on Tour 2023, please do, because that's where we visited the first time. And it was really surprising because we didn't find what we expected, and we're going to see if we're going to have any surprises this time.
Of Box Hill, and we are looking over to Cologne, and Bath is over there on the left, and we've got Ben.
Hey, how you doing? This is me. I don't know how much you can hear because there might be wind on the mic, but we are near Bath, but this is Box Hill, and we're going to head for Roodlo Manor. Yeah.
That's like an army airstrip where you can see that sort of funnel type thing over there. Cologne, they've got us.
Yes, that's right. It's that's right. Yes, I think did we go there? Is that MOD Corsham?
No, that's Cologne.
Cologne, right. Right, but we went to MOD Corsham, and there's that's RAF Cologne. Now, so there's a whole network of military bases here, and they are connected by underground segments. It's not a secret. I mean, there was a Cold War nuclear bunker here, a vast one, for continuity of government.
I'm nicking your content.
That's fine, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We're both recording at the same time.
I'm just not talking.
But, this is that's fine. I'll address both cameras. Last time, now RAF Roodlo Manor was formerly RAF Roodlo Manor was a stately home built, I think, in the 17th century. And during World War II, it was a RAF base during the Battle of Britain. After the World War II, it became a Cold War munitions centre and basically an ammunition dump where there was a vast underground chamber containing all kinds of weapons, allegedly nuclear weapons. It was also used as an intelligence gathering station, and it was very, very highly secretive place. Now, what's happened to it since then has been a bit of a mystery, but we had a rather strange piece of serendipity, you might say, because we're one of the few people who actually managed to sneak inside. And Matthew Williams must be going green.
We did sneak.
We sneaked in.
We pretended to be American tourists.
Yeah, well, you did, didn't we? Yes.
Oh, look at this grand house.
Yeah. We did it very well, didn't we? People. I know, but we
fine.
It works for the average British Tommy, you know. But this place, we actually went in there. I mean, there was nothing much going on. Obviously, whoever was running it in terms of the military-industrial complex has moved out, and it's been renovated. Presumably, it has new owners.
Wow.
But we did see portraits of King Charles in the.
We did.
This was just after the coronation. So maybe that was because we just after.
Terrifying, though.
But who the hell put that great big lizard on there? I mean.
But there was a whole lot of them.
Yeah.
All the lizards.
This big-eared bloody Anunnaki, wherever you go, you know. It's like. And he's on our bloody money now, isn't he? Fuck it. Yes.
Yeah. My king.
Yeah. So we're now going to head for. We're going to see what it's like now. Now, bear in mind, it's a year and a half ago, but we came down here. Obviously, the weather's a lot colder now because it's winter. So we're wondering how the building work has gone and whether will there be any clues about who the new owners are. So we'll see. We probably won't be able to get in there now.
Brush up on your
we'll
American
try. Yeah. If we do, we'll play the American tourist thing again.
What a quaint little house.
But you may remember, and I made a special video about this, I received a privacy violation complaint on the Ben Goes on Tour 2024 for over this Roodlo Manor intrusion, and I mean I contested it and it was overruled, but who did that and why? It's always a bit of a mystery. I did an entire video about that, if you remember.
How did they find out about it?
Yeah, how did they find out?
So random.
I mean, I did put a tag in Roodlo Manor as a tag, but, you know, that's still, when you think about it, I mean, the gate was open, there were no signs saying keep out, so we just walked in.
Because we were tourists.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there was no one in there except builders. The structure itself had been gutted, so we're curious about to see what's happened now. We're nearly there now, so you can actually see it just peeking through the trees over there. So we're now going to pop in and have a look. So yeah, it's one of the most mysterious places in the country. Timothy Good mentions it in one of his alien books. So yeah, this is going to be fun, guys. Wish us luck. Gentlemen, we have the goat of Mendes guarding the gates of Hades. It's a rather mean-looking ram there.
Hello.
Yeah, hello, Mr. Ram.
We've got the
Yes.
Baphomet as we're just about to
Do you
get
do any
to-
raiding? Do you do any raiding, Mr. Ram?
Hello.
Do you break into shops at the dead of night?
Little cutie. Yeah.
You know, in Wales, what ram raiding means something very different.
Oh, Ben.
Sorry. But he's got this lovely view here, hasn't he? Yeah, he's got this lovely view.
Little cheeky, yeah.
Hey guys, how you doing? Yeah, we're almost there now. You can see here's RAF Roodlo Manor, and here's a legacy of its World War II origins, a pillbox. This is an anti-aircraft gun emplacement, and you find them actually everywhere all over the country. There's still many around. They're made of concrete. They were put up during the time of World War II. This was clearly meant to protect this command centre from enemy fire, because this would have been a hot target for the Luftwaffe. And you can see, oddly enough, its aperture has been bricked up, which means it probably may still be in use, maybe as a shed or storage area or something like that. And we're approaching it. It looks like there are some windows have been put in, so luckily over the last 18 months they have done some work on it. But I'm just curious to see who's there now. There are vehicles parked in the driveway, I can see straight away, which means there's some activity here. Let's go in. Let's go up to the gate and see if it's open. If it's open, there's no signs. I'm just going to walk in. Let's walk in and pretend to be American tourists again.
We're good at that.
Yeah. Good. Hey, honey. Hey.
Hey, honey.
Yeah. How's things, man?
Oh,
Is everything all right?
It's quaint.
Yeah.
Oh.
I wish we had these in the States. We don't have any really
This
cool
must
buildings
be
like
where
this.
Charlie lives.
Yeah. Oh, the king lives here when he's in the country.
Oh, this is the king's
Is there a
house.
thatched cottage anywhere near here?
What are we banging on?
Here we are anyway. Now there's a flagpole. There's no flag on it yet. It's interesting they put a flagpole up. Let's have a look. Here's the gate.
Oh, somebody's there.
Now it is actually shut this time, so we can't get in. But it says Roodlo Manor, and there's a. It has a. Now this wasn't here last time. Yeah, looks like the building's still going on at the back there. But look, it has a name plaque, and it has. There's someone in there. Look, this is like eyes wide shut. There's no CCTV on the top of there. It's some weird bloke in a Rolls Royce going to come up and give us a letter telling us to stay away.
Why are you talking in a British accent?
Oh, sorry. But we have like little wreaths on here. And this is, look over here, we have a, look, what was it they said on Edge Media TV? Watching us, watching you, watching them.
Oh God, is that a camera?
I think they've got a camera on us, yes.
Face up to it.
Oh, and no, I can't see a camera lens, but there's probably one hidden somewhere. Probably up in that tree.
Pass it and run away. I can't run.
This is not like, we're not in the world's end. But this is, this is Roodlo Manor, formerly RAF Roodlo Manor. Now, what's interesting thing is obviously they seem to have finished the building work on the main house, but they're building at the back. Do you see there? Are those new buildings at the back?
They do look new, don't they?
Yeah.
And there was the weird water
Certainly newer.
thing.
Yeah, the water. There was a reservoir.
Weird water thing.
Yeah. I mean, the security doesn't look that tight because there's no fencing here.
That
But there's a.
the water
Yeah.
thing.
We thought that was a reservoir, as if it was possibly designed to be in case of the apocalypse. It would be like a bunker under there.
We know something about the water here when we turn the camera off.
Yeah, sure. We'll discuss it then. But yeah. But what's interesting is there's no barbed wire here. If I wanted to, I could climb up on here easily. We all could climb up and get over. But we could probably. It's not like they're trying to keep people out physically at the moment, but
we'll keep you updated because we'll come back.
I'm curious to see, will they ever fly a flag on this pole?
And what will it be?
And if they do, what will it be? Yes. But that flagpole's there.
Maybe we should make like a Panwo flag.
Oh, I've got one. Yeah, we could sneak in and put the Panwo flag up there. Yes. But yeah, this is. Well, there's not much more we can see except this is RAF Roodlo Manor, or formerly RAF Roodlo Manor. And if we find any more information about what they're using this place for now, we'll let you know. But right now, there's not much more we can tell you. This is Roodlo Manor from a different angle, guys. Please do not park in front of this gate. 24-hour access required. But this is clearly unsuitable for motors. No one's going to pop. Obviously this is not regular use of vehicles, and as you can see here, it's just barbed wire and Again, this is something I could easily climb if I wanted to, but yeah, what's it? I wonder what's that used for? Is it a part of the rest of the base, or is it something separate?
It's Bath Valley.
And there's down there's Bath. Yeah, it's a lovely view here actually. It's probably why they put the original home there back in the 17th century, when the people remember. In the other video, I mentioned I go into the full history of Roodlo Manor and the people who built it and who lived there, because it was originally a home for the landed gentry, as they used to call them in those days. Welcome to Bath Spa Station here in Bath. I'm not going to go up to the bars and have a boudica moment this time. I'm going to go home. I do like this station. Now, you know, I've had a great time with the Crafty Nihilists. It's sad to leave them. They've been wonderful hosts. They've really been so accommodating to me, and we've had such a good time together. They've invited me back, and we did that fantastic.
For London, 12:13, sirs from platform 2. Please disregard the automatic announcement.
Oh, right.
Next sirs for London Paddington, 12:13.
That's interesting.
Second train, platform number 2.
We've had a confusion between the robot and the human. It's the Butlerian Jihad being played out on a West Country station in England, and the humans have won. Yeah. So yeah, I'm now going to head home. I've already got a return ticket from Swindon, like I said.
Line, please, just for your safety and safety of others. Stand behind the line.
Anyway, we did the live stream. You can find a link in the description box to that. It's a 2-hour live stream I did with them on their channel. Please do watch it. It's really, really good material. Great dialogue. And I want to thank the Crafty Nihilist very much in this particular programme, and of course Miles Johnston and everyone else. Had a fantastic time. Well, I'm on the train, as you can see here. There's some confusion, like all the automatic announcements and the signs were all wrong. I'm now on a train which I'm not supposed to be on because my ticket's not valid for changing at Reading. But the announcer, or the human voice, was telling me to change. Told me to change at Reading.
This service will only be calling at Reading and London Paddington. We will not be calling at Chippenham.
Yeah, so they just told me to get on this train anyway, even though my ticket's not valid via Reading. So what's going to happen is my ticket. I know what's going to happen. My ticket is going to be inspected at some point between now and Oxford. Probably when, and I'll be told that I'm on the wrong train. I'm going to have to explain to him. I'm going to have to explain to the man exactly why I'm on this train. That's because someone at Bath told me to, and he's going to want to find me, and I'm going to have to explain why. No, I just call someone at Bath and explain what happened. God, I hate train travel. I really do. Hey guys, this will amuse you. It's just been announced that they have no catering service on this train because of a technical issue with the trolleys. Oh dear, the perils of cashlessness. Alright guys, this is the part you've all been waiting for, souvenirs, and we begin with something I forgot actually before for some reason, my toothbrush. How could I forget that on a souvenirs video? This is my Truth Seeker's notebook, still only half full. I've used it for ages just to dot down everything I need to know. This is a packet of razors which I just bought from city centre, Bic razors. You cannot get them anywhere else apart from the city centre, which is annoying. Because it's the only one I like. I won't use Gillette, not after their horrible sexist anti-male advert, which I grew a beard in protest, if you remember. There's a story associated with these, which is directly connected to the cashless situation on the train, with the trolleys breaking down. I'll tell it on a panel voice, so I won't add it to this video. These are my rail ticket, and there's my receipt. They didn't inspect it in the end, but that's my first one. The second one went into the machine at the turnstile. I don't know what that is. That takes me to nowhere, I think. They didn't inspect it in the end. Moisturiser, I still need it. Still got dry skin. Now these two DVDs were presents from the Crafty Nihilist. As you might know, I'm not a fan of the Planet of the Apes movie. It's even worse sequel, and its remake, which was utter trash, to quote Dr. Becky. But they've assured me these are different. It's got Andy Serkis animating an ape called Caesar, and he's very good at animating digital figures. Andy Serkis, he did King Kong and Gollum in Lord of the Rings, and they promised me, try them, Ben. You might like them. All right, I will do so, and I'll let you know. That's my camera charger. That is my phone charger. This is my charger bag. I keep them all in one place so I don't lose them. Chargers are what everyone keeps losing, don't they? these are my pens, and that's a pen, and this is a pen top. Right, this is a present from the Crafty Nihilist, and it's by Liz, and it is a dice. It's a tarot dice. It's like for divination. Now, what these symbols mean, it's up to you to decide. That's interesting. Oh, this is a picture which I'm going to hang up. I'm going to hang this up. This is a picture by the Crafty Nihilist, and it's like an Avebury stone, but it's kind of hovering. Do you see that? And it's got orbs around it, and there's the Pleiades there in the corner, and the red moon, more orbs. Oh, fantastic! And, yeah, Liz, you see. That's great, and I've got something to hang it with. There's the Crafty Nihilist brand, and this is the envelope it came in. I've got a spare hanger in there just in case. And that was this expedition's souvenirs. Hello everyone, I'm back at Oxford Station. Another mission accomplished, another conference over, another lovely sojourn into the West Country. Not just visiting Mars, but also visiting the Crafty Nihilist and doing that live stream. I've had a wonderful time. I want to thank everyone who's involved. Absolutely fantastic. Can't wait for the next one. As for my next video, well, I've got an idea for maybe a roving review at the cinema. It'll be out in a couple of days if that's the case. Hopefully I will be seeing you again before Christmas, but if I don't, have a very happy Christmas and a lovely New Year, although I do plan to be making videos between now and then. In the meantime, thank you for watching Hapanwo TV. Hospital Porters, Pride and Dignity. Stop the New World Order.